me, Montalban. I'm back. It's 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday. It's the TNG review show. Woo! Yay. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back in my chair. It was good to put the uniform back on. G, do you want to unmute yourself? No, he doesn't want to. He's staying as he is. Nope. G has a.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry, you didn't get any of the cheering or anything. I was like,
Oh, that's
oh,
fine.
never mind. I'm so glad I'm not hosting. I'm glad you're back, Monty.
Oh, it's nice to be
I
back.
could not echo that more. I'm so glad I'm not narrating.
I can't even remember to put my microphone on. So, yeah.
Well, I have to say, you guys did a fantastic job last week. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed watching it whilst on holiday in my holiday home. Yeah, I had a great time. I know I did leave halfway through the show to spend the evening. It was my anniversary with Smile a Rainbow to enjoy the rest of my anniversary.
And so you should have. I'm surprised you tuned in at all.
But,
It's because he didn't trust us.
Puts up with everything.
well, I was just curious to see what it was like to be on the other side. You know, it's not often I get that opportunity to like tune in live and be on the
This
other
is
end.
true.
You know?
This is true.
And what it taught me was that I have created a show with you guys that I really love, that I really enjoy watching. Even if I had no part in it whatsoever, I'd be happily sat at home watching it myself. You know, it's my kind of show. And
Well, there you go.
yeah,
That should remind everybody to like and subscribe this video right
Yes.
now. If you haven't done so already, I'm doing it as we speak. There we go.
Done.
I've just liked
Yep.
it.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, and well remembered to get that one in there, G. So I'm just going to turn you up.
I forgot last week. You guys had to remind me on chat, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I just felt like I could just tell that I was just like wanting to say like all the things down the stairs. I was like, I just got to keep typing. It's like ping Montalban, ping Montalban, ping Montalban. It's like, shut up.
Well,
Yeah,
Monty.
we've got to have chat on the screen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oops.
No, we didn't forget. I couldn't do it.
Right.
No, yeah, we didn't have the technology. Well,
Yeah.
eventually we could. I could set G up with Streamlabs and whatnot, but it worked though. What we did worked, and that was the main thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So, good evening, everyone. I see Mickey is. Please don't crash, Mickey. He's on his way home from the gym, probably. And hello, Stu Plum and Smiler Rainbow. Special shout out to my wrench, Smiler Rainbow, this afternoon, who has got herself a new job. So,
Yay!
big congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So,
Well done, Smiler.
she's going to be heading up her very own nurture unit. So, yes. Very
And
proud
I
of her.
started a new job this week.
And you've started a new job? Yes. Congratulations. And how's it going? How was your first week? Or first
It's
few days?
going really, really well, thank you. However, after being either furloughed or redundant for 5 months, it's hard getting back into the swing of being active all day. And so if I fall asleep in the middle of the show, I do apologize. I am knackered.
Yeah. It's not just that I'm back and reading.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be it.
Well, I will endeavour to keep you awake, or try to keep you going, and I'm sure people in chat will keep you on your toes, G, for the rest of the evening.
Karen's joined us as well now.
Oh, did you get a text out to her, Matt?
No, I forgot, but she's here.
You didn't this week. Oh, well done, Karen, for remembering. That's yes. It's an exciting week for us, for Mickey, Karen, and myself, and Chris, if he was around, because it's a new season of Fortnite came out yesterday. So that's very exciting for us Fortnite
You never
nerds.
guess who's in it. Makes Chris super
Oh, I know.
excited.
He's counting down the days and the hours, I think.
Yeah, till he can get his Superman skin.
He's mentioned it once or twice.
Stu Plum's already out with the dad jokes.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Go on.
it's type watch it, G.
Watch. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very droll. Very droll. Yes. So, hello, Karen. Hello, Stu Plum. I think I said hello to Stu Plum. Yes. And here we are. So, a bit of admin to start off this week because I wasn't around last week. I couldn't give my score for The Measure of Man, last week's episode. And I purposely haven't watched the end of last week's episode, TNG review show.
Ah,
So I haven't seen
interesting.
your scores. You'll just have to take my word on that one. I haven't seen
Well,
your scores.
it's quite easy to describe our scores. Just
Don't tell him.
call the police.
Call the police, 911. So I mean, I got to get it 9.
Call the police if you're in the
Specifically
UK.
did it so as he didn't have a spoiler, and then you've gone and told him the scores.
Okay, right.
Shocking.
Well, you both gave it a 9. I'm giving it a 10.
Oh, really?
Yes.
My goodness. Our first 10.
Our first
How
10.
very Len Craig of you.
Yeah.
No, or is it Bruno? I don't know which one normally gives a 10, but yeah,
Bruno.
certainly not Crave Revel Horwood.
We already know I'm the Bruno of the group.
You're the
even though
Bruno.
I'm not dancing on tables. I'm not doing that. Let me just bring up the old.
10.
Yeah.
Wow.
First 10. I've already gone 9 this season, so I figured I've got to go up, and the only way up.
So you did, yeah.
Why? Oh no, I can't type it into my stream. That doesn't work, does it? So yeah, 9, 9, and 9. There we go.
Amazing.
So
That's
that
going to be a
obviously,
toughie to beat.
yeah. No, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching the TNG review show on it. It is a great episode. Very powerful, and it's got to be one of the best episodes this season, if not the best episode this season.
I think it is and will be. Would be tough to beat that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that bit out of the way. So yeah, just sorting my screens out. There we go. So on with this week's episode, the Dauphin. Although not the porpoise swimming in the ocean kind, because it doesn't have an L in it.
Yeah, but it's actually French. I think it's pronounced differently.
Is it Dauphin?
I think it's Dauphin.
Dauphin? Is it? Dauphin.
I might be wrong about that, but that's what
Is
I
it like
think
French for shapeshifter or something?
It's French for dolphin.
Oh, is it French for dolphin?
Yeah.
Why is the episode called French for dolphin?
It's because, see, you're preempting my trivia,
Oh,
but yeah,
sorry.
no, this is a perfect place to discuss it. It's because I just want to get my dates right. From 1350 to 1791 in France, they called the Dauphin was like a symbolic name for around the sort of the French kings, and it was a title that was given to the heir apparent to the throne, the Dauphin or le Dauphin. And she, the main character in this, she's basically inherited this position of power where she's going to rule this world kind of thing. So she's sort of the heir apparent. So that's why they used it.
Cool. The heir apparent.
Yeah.
That all now makes sense. I never knew why it was called that, and now I know.
Learn something new every day.
Yep, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
I'll be honest. I thought it was a name for the morphine type of creatures that they are.
No, they have a few different names.
They do. They
have their species name. They have their elasomorph name.
Elasomorph. That's a good name. Oh, that's a good word.
It's a good word.
Yeah, I tried to look up the etymology of it, but it's made up, I think.
Yeah, it's just purely out of Dr. Pulaski's backside. That's where it is. She's just trying to make herself sound knowledgeable. Oh, I know what these are. These are a type of elastomorphs. And Picard's like, oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. Good one. Yeah. Okay, right. Shall I continue then? The Dauphin.
Yep.
Teaser. The Enterprise is approaching Claudia 3. LaForge signals the bridge to say that now they're out of warp, Kenny makes some time to adjust the deuterium control conduits as they were overdue an overhaul. It's going to take a couple of hours, but Picard gives him the go-ahead, and Geordi sends Wes off to obtain some magnets from the stores. Below the Enterprise, Claudia 3 looks to be an inhospitable planet. Troy says that she would have thought that the inhabitants of Delad 4 would have sent their future leaders to a more hospitable planet. And Worf says that some rely on security more importantly than comfort. Picard hails them, but their signal is distorted. A lady's voice, calling herself Anya, replies and asks if they have come here for Seleia, and asks them what species they are. Picard confirms that they are indeed human and makes arrangements for them to beam aboard.
Question time.
I was wondering if there was going to be I paused there and thinking, is there going to be a question time anytime, Gene?
Yeah, there had to be a question time before the opening titles on this one because it's quite a long time till the opening titles come up.
Yeah.
Didn't you find that in this episode? That I just thought the beginning part was quite long. Anyway, so this is the Lieutenant Commander question, the first one of 2 for 25 TNG points. When they arrive at Claudia 3, what orbit does Riker ask the ensign to put the Enterprise in? Is it A, high orbit, B, low orbit, C, standard orbit, or D, normal orbit? And if you say orbit enough times, the word starts to sound strange.
Loses all meaning.
Yes, it starts sounding like you're calling some sort of green bird orbit. Not orbit. Oval? Orbit. Anyway.
And Stu pitched in with the whole, how do you pronounce it, with Dauphin, D-O-F-A-N. That's pretty much right.
Yeah,
Dauphin. Yes, just to go through that question again. When they arrive at Claudia 3, what orbit does Riker ask the ensign to put the Enterprise in? A, high orbit, B, low orbit, C, standard orbit, or D, normal orbit?
It's an orbit.
Orbit.
Right, so as you're getting your answers in, I'll just finishing off the teaser.
Well, I might interject with a triv.
Right, go then. Yeah, I like it.
So apparently, Daled, like the word Daled, because it's Daled 4.
Daled 4.
It's actually the 4th letter of the Hebrew alphabet and is used as a numeral for the number 4 in Hebrew. So it makes it 4-4. But I was thinking they should have called it Daled 7. That would have been an excellent hidden 47
opportunity
reference.
for a 47 pun.
Opportunity missed.
Yeah. Instead, it's
44.
It's 44, which is Hamilton's number in Formula One.
Oh, yeah, true.
But maybe they predicted the future on that one. So we got some C's. I'm seeing some C's in there.
Is that everybody's answers in, I believe? Yeah.
Yep.
Mickey got a C. Yeah, Mickey's got a C. We're all C's.
Okay, so then congratulations to everyone. You've just got Lieutenant Commander promotion. Everybody got 25 TNG points. It was indeed standard orbit.
Though looking from that picture there on the screen, it looks like they're quite low to me. So maybe the helmsman just didn't know what he was doing. Well done, everyone. Congratulations. Right. O'Brien beams a young woman and her older chaperone aboard. Interestingly, they have no luggage on their journey. The young girl is excited to have been in the transporter and she didn't really feel anything. and she's interested in the ship and how it works. And Riker offers to take them on a tour, but the old lady does not allow it. In the corridor, on the way to the quarters, they meet Wesley. And she, the young girl, goes up and talks to him and recognizes the gadget he's got in his hand and warns him to be careful with it, else it will strip the iron out of his blood cells, because it's a magnet. Wes is like, ooh, who's that?
To Riker. Yeah.
To Riker. And Riker's like, I think she's the governess, pretending that he thought he meant the old lady. And but then he's like, the girl won't have any time for you, mate. She's going to go rule an entire world. And so Wes is like, oh, that's a shame. But he's looking off down the corridor, right, looking after her. And then we have the titles. So then we Act 1. Data visits Wes in his quarters on Wes's request, and Wes he gives Wes the lowdown on who the girl was. And he says she was born on Daled 4. Her parents were from opposite sides of a civil war on their planet that lasted for centuries. They both died shortly after her birth, and the Federation ship brought her and the governess to Claudia 3 so that they could be raised in a neutral environment. And as at the end of these going through all this, Geordie comes through on the intercom and is like, Wes, where are you? He's like, I sent you off to get magnets like an hour ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah. Wes is like, oh yeah, I was doing a job. So yeah, Wes goes off to engineering to deliver the magnets. The Enterprise continues on impulse power whilst Geordie completes his repairs, and Worf reports that nothing meets with the old woman's approval. Troy's concerned that they may not be what they say they are, as their emotions don't match what they're currently doing. I don't know how she knows that, because she wasn't there to meet them in the transporter room. She seems to have been on the bridge the whole time, so she's never met them.
Well, if you notice at the beginning when they first make contact, she's in the background and she's pulling, like, it's quite good acting for Marina, to be honest with you. But yeah, she's sort of pulling a sort of kind of, it's going squinty-eyed, sort of, yeah, suspicious. So she already gives signs away then.
Yeah. I think
because I think she can sense deception, can't she?
She can,
because it's like an emotion.
It was just the actual language she used, like what they're thinking doesn't match their actions, but she couldn't see. I don't know what they'd done or how she could see what they'd done when she had just been sat on the bridge. But yeah. In chat, Mickey might be following you in the middle of the episode by going off to sleep, because I think he's overdone himself a little bit in the gym this evening, and yeah, so we might be shaking you both awake during this episode.
Are there any more relevant pictures or not yet?
Ooh, good point. Oh, that's their meeting in the corridor where she's like, oh, what have you got there? I recognise that. It's a magnet.
So while we're on that picture, a couple things. So this was listed as a goof, which is just stupid. But she says, be careful with the magnet that strong. It can like strip the iron from your hemoglobin or something, or from your blood. And the goof was, that was not technically possible, like as if anybody would think it was possible. But obviously iron in your blood doesn't have the sort of structure that's affected by magnets. And the other thing was about her as an actress. I forget her name, but she called, is it Jamie? Gaime, or Jaime sometimes? Hubbard. But she only appeared on TV like 4 or 5 times. And in the other ones, it was a tiny bit part, or a part in a very low budget film that never went anywhere. So this was the thing that she was most known for. But about 5 or 6 years after this, she stopped acting anyway and became a psychotherapist. But she's actually 10 years older than Wes in this. So that's interesting.
She didn't look 10 years older.
Wow.
No, she didn't.
Oh, that puts a bit of a different complexion. She's probably, I don't know about her species.
They're
But
saying she's a 16-year-old in this, but she's definitely not.
no.
But she does, she's passable 16.
Mm.
So maybe that was why the old woman was trying to stop him, because she knew her real age. She's like, you MILF, stop it.
Yeah. Get on
In most
west.
countries at that time, it wouldn't even be legal.
Yeah. I think there may be another picture, actually. Yeah, it's Data.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to, he goes to this when he went to Wes and told him about her background, a little bit about her background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Enterprise continues on Impulse. Oh no, we did that. Troy, yeah, right. Picard checks in on the girl, Celia, on the view screen, which is an interesting. I don't remember them really using the view screen on the bridge for room conversations before. But anyway, they do it in this episode. So Picard talks to them on the view screen, and the first thing she does is ask Picard who Wes is. Who's the boy in the corridor? And he's like, that's Wes. But then she quickly changes the subject when she realizes her ward, Anya, has entered the room and is watching her. On the bridge, Data asks about the conflict on Deled 4 and wonders how they're expected to bring peace to the two sides. To two sides of the planet that are like night and day. And Riker's surprised that Data used a colloquialism. I'm doing a G. A colloquialism. Go on, get your mouth around that one, G.
Quokalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Quokalism
Never
alert.
disappoints. But Data clarifies.
A wisdom cloak?
Data clarifies that he was being literal. The planet's tidal locked to its star, so one side's always in day and one side's always in night. Yeah. Which I thought was quite funny.
More about that than most people, but apparently that does happen with planets. It's called tidal locking.
Yes.
And they think there's probably quite a lot of those out there, and they could potentially host life. And it's like particularly common around red and brown dwarf stars, apparently. But yeah.
Well, I think it's
about that planet stuff. You do.
The rocky planet that's orbiting Proxima Centauri, our closest neighboring star, sits within the Goldilocks zone of that star. It sits actually closer to Proxima than Mercury does to our sun, but because Proxima is considerably smaller,
the magnetic force
it's
is
still
different.
in the Goldilocks zone, but because it's that close, it is. Its orbit's locked, so one side of the planet always faces Proxima, where the other side faces away. A lot like our moon does around the planet Earth. But yes, so yes, but yeah, I thought it was funny because they were like, "Oh my gosh, Data made a colloquialism," and it's just no, it's just the planet's night and day. Riker thinks she looks too frail for the task of uniting the planet, but Worf warns them not to be fooled by the looks of the body, as it is just a shell. Oh, wow. Worf getting a bit deep there. In her quarters, Celia is talking to another nice young woman, which I thought, ooh, where did she come from? About her concerns. That she doesn't
We got
know,
a picture.
I don't think so, no.
No. Okay.
I can't go on to the next picture because
I can see what it was.
spoiler.
Yeah, don't do that.
She's talking to a nice, lovely young woman. Tells her that her duties. She's worried that she's not going to be able to do her duties. But the young woman tells her that maybe your duties you will be able to do it, and everything will be wonderful. And then this nice young girl turns into this weird little bear creature. It's like, oh, that's.
Did you recognize her?
What, the girl? I did recognize the girl. Is she in like a witch thing? or something.
She is actually in a witch thing, but it's not a thing I've watched. But where I
Charmed?
recognized her from was Twin Peaks.
Oh, that's where I recognize her from.
Yeah,
She's in
exactly.
Twin
As soon as I
Peaks.
saw that, I was like, oh, of course, because
Yes.
she must have been like roughly the same age as that. She's actually been in lots of other things like Joey, Californication, Riverdale, some witches thing, Witches from the East or something. So, but I think I recognized her mainly from Twin Peaks.
It was Twin Peaks. That's where I recognize her from. Yeah. She was good in Twin Peaks. Yeah, anyway, so the girl turns into a little bear, which was a bit of a
I
surprise.
wouldn't describe it as a bear.
I don't know. It's like a big bug-eyed.
It's
furry
it's like a
creature.
bear that's having its eyes sucked out.
Yeah, or they're just kind of exploding out of its head.
Enter the horrendous costumes of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In engineering, Wes is struggling with concentrating on his work, and Geordie thinks it's because he's thinking about Celia. And he goes, yeah, she's perfect. And then he goes to continue on with his work, but he gets it all wrong and nearly blows the ship up. Ship up. Blows the ship up. Oh, that was from last night. That was from Karen. Ship. So, like, Geordie relieves him due to his hormonal imbalance. He's like, yeah, you're no good to me. Get out of here. Get out of here. And
Question time.
oh, Karen will be pleased because she's been waiting for a question time.
Yeah, well, I can only do them when your narration gets there, so you know.
As fast as I can.
She says Monty does a blooper.
So, second and last Lieutenant Commander question for all our 3 Lieutenant Commanders at the moment. Worth 25 TNG points. When Geordie and Wes are in engineering and Geordie asks Wesley, basically, let me rephrase that. Geordie says to Wesley, "You haven't found that blank yet," and the blank is A, problematic area, B, focused area, C, fibrematic area, or D, defocused area. So Geordie asks Wesley, "You haven't found that blank yet?" And it's A, problematic area, B, focused area, C, fibrematic area, or D, defocused area.
No idea. Gotta say, not one I picked up on. That's hard.
I could hazard a guess.
I could guess. Anyone technically can guess.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of like the point of it.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. Blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank.
There were people observing that Geordie's saying that Wes's hormones were exploding. He was at that age where his hormones were exploding, but yeah, he's like 17, and really that age is like between 11 and 13 for most boys, where they kind of hit puberty.
It is.
But apparently this episode has become sort of in a derogatory way, I guess, has become known amongst fans as the episode where Wesley hits puberty.
Oh, bless him. Right, I think we got some.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing a trend of copying each other this evening.
All the C's, then all the D's.
I have to say, I was going to go for D with my guess as well.
I would have guessed B, but there you go. I'm probably wrong.
Focused area. Yeah, you would have been wrong. Everybody got it right again. But I can't promote you again, but I can give you all 25 TNG points. So that puts everybody on 50 TNG points so far. Well done.
It's a close one this evening. It's a close one.
Full marks for everyone.
Yeah. It's going to get harder.
Yeah. So Wes wants to go talk to the girl, but first he wants some advice. So he goes and seeks out Worf on the bridge. And Worf demonstrates an inviting yell.
This is a great scene.
and tells him to expect a roar back, followed by much throwing of objects and clawing. It was all really useful stuff for Wes. It's like, what? And he's like, then you recite poetry.
Yeah, Wes was like, what does the man do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, recite poetry
A
and duck a
Learn
lot.
to duck. Yeah.
So you can paint the picture. You can see that happening, can't you?
It's
Yeah.
followed up by quite another good funny line as well as he's walking away, I think.
What's that?
Can't remember what it is now.
He says, well, he does say something about you're human though, so why don't you just like go to a door and beg or something?
Yeah, that's it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, well, maybe you should
And
just
Wes,
go to
you know,
a
it's
door
kind of
and
like,
beg
that's
like a
on my
human.
speed.
Do what everybody else does. Yeah.
So funny.
Data tells him that looking at her appearance, they should be biologically compatible, which is a bit cringe. Now you pointed out the age difference. Wes is like, well, I want to meet her, not dissect her. But I think he was completely missing Data's point. What he was trying to say.
I don't know. I mean, Data was talking about cell membranes and stuff.
I
It was a bit.
suppose.
It was a bit anatomical.
Picard contacts Celia again and invites her and Anya to tour the ship. She accepts, though the little bear thing object turns back into Anya. Or turns into Anya, because we didn't realise. Well, we did know it was Anya, but it just confirms it that, oh my gosh, the little bear thing. That hot chick earlier on. It was the old lady after all.
Surprise!
Surprise! Yeah. So, Act 2. Celia tells her that she is more than an old woman. Celia tells her that she's no more an old woman than she herself is a leader. And then Worf arrives to escort them on the tour, but again, Anya forbids it and goes in her place. Wes is getting more advice about what he should say when he goes and meets the girl, and this time from Riker in 10 Forward, which is perhaps of the bridge crew, maybe the best person to go talk to. And so Riker decides to demonstrate the techniques on Guinan. So he starts with, "You're the most beautiful woman in the galaxy." And then they go on partaking in sort of flirting verbal combat, which I'm not going to recite through the whole cringeworthy 4 minutes of watching
Pretty
them
funny,
flirt.
though.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Watch the episode. It's great. Wes, who's bored by the end of it, like interjects with, "I don't think this is my style." And Guinan's like, "Shut up, kid." Tell me more about my eyes.
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
It's just the quality that Whoopi brings.
Yeah, it is. Worf, showing Anya around, is in engineering. She starts to question Geordie about his maintenance and like what he's doing, and basically questioning the validity of his work and that. And she leaves, but says, "I'm going to be back for progress later." So Geordie's like,
Well,
yeah.
To be fair, she's checking the safety of the environment and within which her ward has been put.
Yeah.
So it's pretty diligent. You got to think her motives are good.
Yeah. Wes finally visits Celia, and do you feel Celia?
Celia.
I don't know how to spell it.
We're all saying the different.
Celia.
Do you think? I just keep thinking throughout the whole thing that the older lady should have been called Celia and the girl should have been called Anya. I don't know why. I just feel their names are the wrong way.
I actually thought that was what it was. And when I was trying to do the questions, like, oh no, she's and Anya. I think that sounds like a mixture of onion and Anna put together. Anya.
Anya. So yes, Wes finally visits Celia, and she asks him to show her how to use the food replicator, just to give her an excuse to ask him inside and The guy on guard duty does absolutely nothing. He just stands there. Be my guest. So I don't know what his point was standing outside her quarters. So yes, he goes in. She wants something sweet, so he orders her a chocolate mousse that she thinks is wonderful. She wants to tell him about. She wants Wes to tell her all about the worlds he's been to, as she's only ever been to Claudia 3. So Wes says, "Well, let's change that. We can take you to other worlds," and they head off to the holodeck. And again,
Where's she supposed to get a spoon from for the moose, by the way?
well, she doesn't.
She
She
stuck
just
her
uses
finger
her
in it.
fingers.
Yeah.
I know, but you think they would provide a spoon?
Yeah. Well, usually they do.
Well,
when,
he
when
didn't-
they
he
replicate
didn't-
something, it comes with like utensils and things, doesn't it?
Normally, yeah.
Yeah.
Question time.
Oh,
Who fancies a commander promotion? That I can hear
No
you
one.
all screaming. Yeah, calm
we're happy
down,
where we
calm
are,
down.
thank you.
It's like a
Okay.
30-second lag, so you can't wait for an instant
No.
reaction.
Yeah, I know. But I heard them. I know everybody's gagging for the commander question. 50 TNG points and a commander promotion. So,
Mickey wants it.
when Wesley and Celia, when Wesley and Celia are in the holodeck, what location does Wesley change the holodeck to? Is it A, Russo 5, B, Russo 6, C, Russo 8, or D, Russo 10? When Wesley and Celia are in the holodeck, what location does Wesley change the holodeck to? A, Russo 5, B, Russo 6, C, Russo 8, or D, Russo 10?
Cool. Answers are coming in.
I'd have liked it if you did the answers like Russo 8, Russo 6, Russo 5, or
Just complete gibberish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Mickey. Change your answer.
So it's 5, 6, 8, or 10. Yes.
Anyway,
Anya's tour with Worf has reached sickbay, where Dr. Pulaski's treating someone for cephalitis, amongst other things. Anya's concerned that it's contagious and again could infect Celia. So she says the only way to be sure is to kill the patient. And so she turns into a giant, big, red, bug-eyed monster, hairy monster, and attacks Worf, which was a little extreme. Do you want to do the answers? Because that was the end of Act 2.
Alrighty. Okay. Everybody's getting a commander promotion. Well done.
Boop, boop. Did they all get it right, was it?
pictures.
Yeah. Everybody answered the same
pictures.
again.
Stu Plum prompted.
Thank you, Stu Plum. There's the big-eyed, bug-eyed
Hey.
creature thing. It's an interesting
Everybody's
one.
on
Right talk,
100
right,
points. All our commanders.
It's a pretty rubbish little fight scene, little tussle between the big hairy creature and Worf. They kind of just grab each other's shoulders and go,
But I thought you were going to say between the big hairy creature and the Alasso Morph.
yeah, that would have been good. I wish I had said that now.
Sorry. But he is quite a tall one.
Oh,
Gosh.
Yeah.
And I wonder, at the beginning, obviously, Worf made that comment about not everybody's what they look like. But I just think somewhere like his warrior instincts had prickled when he met her. And I think he got a sense that maybe, there was more to them than met the eye.
Yeah.
I think it was his Worfy instincts, his Worfy sense, like a Spidey sense, was tingling.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. He was ready there, wasn't he? Anyway, they grab each other's shoulders and rock side to side for a couple of times, and then Picard enters with a security team, and they do
Another
it.
amazing costume, by the way.
Oh, this is. Isn't it? It's fantastic.
It's the same thing, just bigger.
Mm.
Put the same head on top of it.
I don't know. Is it the same head? I think
I'm
the
not. I'm
last head
joking. I'm joking.
looked a little cuter than that. But, Picard and security team enter within about 3 seconds of the ruckus starting. So I think they must have all been just stood outside for some reason, because they literally come running straight in. And Anya turns back into the old lady, into her old lady mode again. And Picard tells her the situation with the sick person in Pulaski is under control, so there is no chance of contamination, so there's no need for any of this. But Anya is defiant, though, and she's like, your powers are weak, old man, or something like that. That's a Star Wars quote. But Picard stays strong and orders her to remain in her quarters and stay in that form. Not that form that we're looking at now, but the old lady form. And she's like, okay.
That's a bit racist, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Like she's safer because she's an old woman.
Yeah.
Than a furry, red-eyed thing.
Well, it's maybe a bit ageist and a bit sexist too. But yeah, like telling somebody they're not even allowed to be their actual normal species shape is probably wrong.
Yeah.
Species.
But I don't know if you covered this because I was too busy reading chat. But when they said security, like Picard just walked straight in. Like, how did he get there so quick?
Yeah, I did question that.
Oh, sorry. That's right then.
Literally, the fight went on for about 3 seconds when Picard came in with the security team.
Yeah.
So they must have been literally standing outside the door.
Well, maybe he was on his way for his 6-monthly checkup or something.
Maybe.
That would have been a coincidence.
Yeah.
Maybe he just likes to keep dropping in on Dr. Pulaski.
Oh.
Some special Dr. Pulaski time. Who knows?
Do you think he's got a thing for doctors?
Maybe. He's got previous.
We can see a pattern emerging.
He obviously likes playing doctors and nurses.
Yeah. Yes.
I bet Karen's like, I'll be your doctor anytime.
Yeah. So anyway, Anya leaves with the security team. And Pulaski says there is mention in the Galactic Zoological Catalogue of a species called an Alazimov. Oh, that's where she got it. She didn't make it up. She got it from the Galactic Zoological Catalogue.
And there was a few comments about, in terms of the goof side that, they're acting like it's the strangest thing and like nobody's ever heard of shapeshifter, but actually it's featured in quite a few different Star Trek stories from like original series episodes to sort of books and things that were set before now. So it shouldn't be quite such a surprise to them, but yeah. I tried to look up the sort of etymological background to Alasomorph and failed because it appears not to be a real word. Although, interestingly, or not so interestingly, this might be taking it too far or just a coincidence, there is the word allomorph, which is where there's a piece of a word which can have a different sound or spelling but means the same thing. And it just seems like, I know it has morph in it, but it's almost like they might have a different sort of, structure or strength, but they're effectively still the same thing. So I thought maybe it came from that, like a little variation on that word, but who knows?
So would read and read be an allomorph?
No, it's when it's a portion of the word. So it's only like a tiny bit of the word, which is in itself called a morpheme. So it's like with plurals where you could have an S or an ES or even an I to indicate a plural. They have like different sort of spellings or the way that they're pronounced, but they're all kind of pluralizing.
Okay.
Not that interesting, told you. And the tumbleweed rolls by. Joel would have appreciated it.
Joel would have. Joel would have been really into that one. Yeah, I was just catching up with chat, and Karen liked the shot of when the lady changed from the hairy person to the old lady. She liked the changing effects, I think. Or jokingly, I don't think it looked that great. Yes. Where were we?
They were just going back from sick bay.
She left. So it's the security team. Dr. Plasky says in the Lazarmorph, Worf thinks that a creature like that would make a perfect protector. In the holodeck, Wes is showing Celia a desert rocky planet that's apparently beautiful. But I just thought she just came from what looked like a really desert rocky planet. So he takes her to a desertless rocky planet. And Wes tries to convince her that it is a great time to be alive, but she isn't convinced. So he changes the program to like a rocky asteroid belt place, which is even more like
Russo 5, as we determined.
Russo 5, which is not even planet and even more rocky. But she thinks it is breathtaking. Personally, I think he should have taken her to the Lake District or something like that. Might have been a little bit better, you know. Yeah.
There was a minor continuity error as well. When they went to like the little rock, she had to like move closer to him, put her arm around his waist,
Right.
and then it cuts to another shot, and they've got like, their arms linked. But it's more continuity error.
But is it in space? Can they breathe? I mean, I know it's
They're on a holodeck.
I would guess.
I know, but they're
not actually going to be able to stand on that rock, are they?
No,
that meteorite.
It's floating. It seemed like it was floating in space, and the area around them was making noise. So that must have mean if they were hearing it, there was an atmosphere.
There would have to be atmosphere. That's a good point.
But that planet, and I don't quite work out how all that worked.
Good point.
I was probably trying to think too far into what this.
No, that's a way better goof. I rate your goof way higher. Yeah. You need to get on Fandom or IMDb and submit that one.
Yeah, what is that all about? Yeah. So, Worf returns Anya to her quarters, but she doesn't think Worf can protect Celia. He's tasked with protecting the ship, and he can't do both things at once. Anya then threatens them all to say, "I'm so powerful, you could not possibly control me." But he's like, "Go in your quarters," and she's like, "All right." So she goes in her quarters, and I'm pretty sure as soon as that door closed, she just pops from one type of creature to another, just to just go no. It's a Picard.
Yeah, probably.
Like mouse, bear, person, old lady, young lady. Anyway, yeah. In the ready room, Troy tells Picard that Anya sees herself as Celia's mother, so she'll be feeling very protective about her. And Anya then comes in to report that Celia's gone from her quarters and she doesn't know where she is. Well, where she is on a date in 10 Forward with Wes with some ice cream. She tells Wes
exactly where you'd expect the 16-year-old girl to be.
Exactly. She tells Wes she's trading one life of solitude for another in order to put an end to the conflict. But Wes says, "You don't need to do that. You could stay here. Don't worry about your warring planet." But she says, "I can't." And runs out of 10 Forward. And Wes is just sat in the chair looking after her, Oh, she's running away. And Guinan comes over and goes and gives him some worldly advice and says, just because a girl runs off doesn't mean you can't follow. So Wes runs after her. He catches up with her, but she says she can't stay. She can't have this life. And then Anya arrives and takes her back to her quarters, leaving Wes in the corridor all alone.
There's observations that like this Celia.
Oh, gosh,
she's supposed to be uniting these warring people. She's a one of a kind. They've kind of nurtured her for 16 years, and these people are, I think, people that the Federation are wanting to kind of nurture a diplomatic relationship with and such like. And yet, despite how important she is politically, and despite the Prime Directive and all of that kind of stuff, not one of the adults on the senior crew had any kind of alarm or reaction to the fact that Wes was pursuing her. They just all kind of gave him some advice and was like, off you go. Like,
Yeah,
did they not
go
think
for
that,
it.
it could cause political issues, or they could lead each other astray, or he could interfere with this major thing that's going on for an alliance of these two warring species?
Yeah.
No, they were just like, oh, teenagers in love.
Yeah, yeah. They really didn't understand the sort of magnitude of the situation they were in, did they? Yeah. Yes. So Anya backs down and tells Wes he shouldn't have got involved. Oh no, that's not right. I'm in the wrong act. I've skipped an act. Geordie, there we go. Geordie's finished work on the deuterium, and warp is now available. So they head off to Delad 4 at warp 8.8. Picard asks Wes to meet him in the ready room, and he tells him about Anya being a big scary monster, and Wes gulps, which I thought was quite funny. It's like, well, Anya's not what she appears to be. She's a massive scary monster, and he's like, you can see him go. And Wes reluctantly agrees to stay away from Celia. Celia wants to know why Anya won't let her have a friend. And they have an argument about her relationship with Wes, and Anya tells her she has to meet her destiny. The Enterprise arrives at Delad 4, and it looks just like Claudia 3, and they wonder how a human can possibly survive. And Celia goes and visits Wes. When Anya was asleep, she creeped out. And they kiss.
Good typical teenager.
Yeah, they kiss. It's very cute. At least that's what I wrote in my notes. I went, oh, it's so cute. But now you tell me like she's 10 years older than him, and I'm like, oh, it's not so cute now.
A little less cute.
It's a bit less cute. It's kind of took a bit of sheen off that. But then,
I should have told you that at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, well done, Wes. But then Anya turns up in monster mode. Which, I think a little bit of wee came out of Wes at that point.
See, I put Anya turns up in full monster mode.
That's what I put.
Oh, did we write the same thing? That's cool.
Don't know. I don't know. I called it her old woman mode and monster mode. Celia then turns...
I called it Monster Munch.
Monster Munch.
And then I've got Celia goes monster mode.
Yeah, she turns into a big monster as well, which, shocks the bejesus out of Wes. And that was Act 5. Got any more questions at the moment, or are we all right at the moment?
I've got one goof on that scene. So as they turn back from being monsters into being people, you see them stood there, and Celia.
No, you said it right the first time.
Celia is stood next to a massive full-length mirror, but there's no reflection. And then it sort of cuts to Wes. It cuts back to them, and she's there still, but now there's a total full reflection.
Oh, weird.
So obviously the bit where she morphed back from the big thing to the little thing was just obviously superimposed later, so there was no reflection.
Yeah.
It would have been too much budget to put a reflection in of it as well. But it's like, why didn't they just move that big mirror? Why would you put a big mirror somewhere where you're going to superimpose somebody? But anyway.
Yeah, I agree, Smile. I think he's going to go for every kind of pronunciation of the name, and
Solariac.
So he hasn't got Solario.
Yeah, Solero.
Just think Princess Leia, take away the princess, put a C in front of it. Leia.
Right, okay. Celia. Karen also thinks that maybe Wes didn't mind the kissing scene.
I'm sure he didn't mind.
I'm sure he didn't mind it.
Duplum calls him a toy boy. To be fair, the age difference between me and Ludacris is about the same, so I can't really comment on any of it.
Yeah. So.
Oh yes, and it makes Smile and Rainbow think of Red Dwarf and the Polymorph. Excellent.
Yeah, it reminds. Well, yeah, it's not a polymorph, is it? It's what they called. They were like harpies, but they suck out your brain through a straw. and they go on the planet, and he's like, Lister, you got to come back in. He's like, but it's the Channel 27 weather girl. You can't see what she's doing with her pointy stick.
Well, there's sirens.
The sirens, that's it. Yeah, the sirens. Yeah.
But yeah, there is a polymorph in
There
Red
is a
Dwarf.
polymorph as well, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, you see it from one scene, and Lister's getting off with this nice Channel 27 weather girl, and then as it rotates around, he's like being slobbered over by this massive like
big hairy
monster
thing with a
hairy thing.
proboscis.
Yeah, that's just all sucking his face, like, and it's just like he's like all tongues, and it's all it's just like slime everywhere. Anyway, it's a good scene. Act 5. Anya backs down and tells Wes he shouldn't have gotten involved, and they end up sealing Anya and Celia in their quarters so they can't get out with force field. Because they realise that Anya got out because she must have turned into like a bug or a mouse or something small, got past their guards. They receive a signal from the surface to say that they are now expecting them. But data reports that the signal came from a terawatt facility with more power than the entire ship, and they can't reply through the atmosphere. But Worf says the signal did contain beam down coordinates, so Riker can make arrangements for the beam down. Worf tells the guards they have... Worf tells the guests they have arrived, and Anya...
Question time.
Oh,
hello. Question time. So, all three of our commanders, you have proven yourself in combat and in service, so therefore I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult, and all the remainder of the questions don't have multiple choice. So, here we go. The second commander question, we're at 50 TNG points. It's level pegging with everybody at the moment. So let's see who can get out in front. When Worf collects Anya as they're leaving the Enterprise, what transporter room does he take her to? When Worf collects Anya as they're leaving the Enterprise, what transporter room does he take her to?
Karen's like, no multiple choice.
I mean...
You went too early, Mickey. You went too early.
Yeah, Mickey, you might be good at looking at the facts, but you're not good at strategy.
And that's just told everybody else he's right. Hey, Karen, put 6. Put 6, Karen. Put 6.
Quick, Karen.
Funny.
Don't put 6.
Karen's put 6. I wonder why that is. I mean, also, you know, Mickey did his little dab emoji, which is like, that's like almost like mic drop, you know.
Yeah.
It showed a level of confidence.
Yeah, well, it's a shame because it was transporter room 5.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was 6.
It
was 6.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to go back and watch the episode?
I'm not going to now. No. Was it 5?
Let's do it live on air.
Was it 5?
Let's do it live on air. If you did so, and you watched it back, you would find out that it's transporter room 6.
Yes, thank you.
Hey.
Yeah, everybody's level pegging.
Oh.
Classic.
Very good.
Maybe go last next time, Mickey.
Yeah. Strategy now. It's going to be strategy.
Well, the next question is the captain question, so it's the fastest on the
Oh, it is the fastest. Don't go last, Mickey.
Yeah, go last, Mickey. It's a good time to put strategy into place.
I do feel sorry for Stu Plum with the fastest finger first round, because he sits there with his phone going, right, where's the A?
Oh, bless. Don't listen to him, Stu Plum.
And then, where's the D? So
Less.
he's a
I still
slight-
think we should have
slight-
Spookbum on the show.
slight
We've had all our other
disadvantage.
major fans on.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Worf. What? Wolf. Where was I?
Taking them to the transport
Anya
room.
backs down. Oh yeah. Was I?
Yeah, I
Dunno.
mean, you could if you want to fast forward to transport room 6.
She confirms. She tells. Right. Yes, that's where I was. So yes, Worf tells the guests they've arrived. Anya tells her that she won't be going with her down to the planet, and that she confirms she wouldn't have hurted Wes. She just wanted to scare him off. She confirms that Celia will probably not ever be able to leave the planet, but she doesn't know what the future will hold, and she'll be going home to one of the moons of the planet, which was once her home, where she came from. And they say their goodbyes. Worf escorts Anya to the transporter room and tells her that she was a worthy opponent. Anya tells Worf that she hopes they will fight alongside each other one day. Celia goes to say goodbye to Wes, who's butthurt about the whole monster thing. He's like, did you have fun playing a humanoid? And she's like, it's not like that. When I'm with you, I am who I am now. That's who I am. And he says, I loved you. And she says, I loved you too. But then he tells her to go. So she leaves.
Get out of my face, monster.
In the transporter room, Riker says his diplomatic goodbyes and whatnots, and Celia returns the diplomatic small talk. And then she gets on the transporter room to go, but Wes arrives with some chocolate mousse for her to take on a journey. And
There was a spoon this time.
was there?
I said, was there a spoon this time?
I don't think so. No,
Oh,
I think it was probably the
smacking.
same prop that they used. That's been sitting around the studio for the last day or
Lovely.
two.
That she stuck her fingers in again.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Well, she likes sticking her finger in while she's got them.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, he gives her the mousse, and she says that she wishes there was something she could give him in return, but he says that she already has. I don't know what else we must have missed that scene. She asked him to leave because she needs to transform into her natural state to beam down into the planet, because else it would have been too much of a shock for the inhabitants. But he asks that he wants to stay and see what she really looks like, and so she turns into a sort of light entity, a Star Trek floaty light thing. And
Well,
beams
at
down.
least one of the better effects of the episode.
Yeah, it is. It is one of the better ones. It's very pretty. He goes to 10 forward to do some moping over some lemonade, tells Guinan about the whole light thing.
Isn't there a picture actually?
No. Oh, yes, there is. There you go.
There
Yes,
we
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
She looks like
Pretty.
a glowy glowworm.
Yeah.
But told you, no fingers. She ain't dipping in no mousse now.
No, the moose kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
She was holding it and then
she
absorbed it or something.
yeah, absorbed it.
Yeah.
He could be holding it. He looks like he might have something in his hands.
Well,
That's probably not mousse, Maria.
that's the.
That's bad.
Sorry.
Edit that bit out, right? Oh no, G goes uneditable.
Oh. Oh,
Oh
dear.
dear.
Okay.
Hope there's no youngsters watching.
Yes. He goes to 10
I
forward.
didn't say anything rude. I just said it wasn't mousse.
Whatever.
He's holding.
If there are any kids watching, kids, it's just he wasn't holding mousse.
Whatever. It goes 10 forward.
He's holding the present. Maybe he's holding the present she gave him.
It goes 10 forward.
I've never had one of these before.
Ah.
forward and mopes over some lemonade and tells Guinan about the whole light thing, and he now feels strangely empty.
Doesn't she say it feels that way the first time or something?
He says, "You'll never feel like this about anyone else ever again." And Guinan says, "No, you're right, because every time it will be different." And he's like, "I didn't really help." And she says, "No, it wasn't supposed to." And that was the end of the episode. They go off on their merry way. And that was that. That was the end of the episode.
Oh, well done, Monty.
We got through.
Oh, does anybody want a captain promotion? I can only give out one.
I think
Put
they
your
do.
answers in chat if you want a captain promotion. Put a
All right,
big
then.
like
Shall I do some trivia in the
emoji.
meantime?
Yeah. Go on.
In the meantime, so the superconductor magnet prop, I forgot to mention earlier, has also appeared in Voyager Prime Factors as a spatial trajector matrix.
Ooh.
Exciting. And there was a chess set in Wes's quarters, which was also used in Robocop and Back to the Future Part 2, apparently.
Yeah, it looked a bit like battleships. I've got a battleships game that looks just like that.
We got full-on emojis going on in chat, so I think everybody wants the captain question.
Okay, yeah, steady with those emojis, guys. Right, here we go. Only one person's going to get the captain promotion. Everybody is level pegging on 150 TNG points. This
Whoever
is
gets
worth
best broadband wins.
yeah, it's worth 100 TNG points. Get ready, get your fingers close to your keys or your screens. Okay, so here we go. What was Salea's final destination? What was Salea's final destination? Name a planet. Quick. What was Salea's final destination?
You just took a shortcut, Monty. I don't think that'll hold up in
does
court.
That count? Technically, it's right.
Anyway,
what was Solera's final
Solera's.
destination?
Not
Walls.
Solariacs.
We have a winner. We
We
have a captain.
Mickey got it.
It is Mickey Early with Daled 4. Yes, it's been mentioned many times this evening, along with Claudia 3, was it? Yeah, Claudia 3 and Daled 4 were the only place names. Yeah. So, but I thought people would get confused and go, Claudia 3? No, it was Daled 4. Anyway, well done, Mickey, or Captain Mickey, I should say. Finishing on 250 TNG points. Well done to the other guys.
Isn't it? That's
You
max
came-
That's
points.
a full house. That's a full house.
Yep, it is a full house. Just like Data's hand. No.
What?
Yes, Data's poker hand in the last episode. It was a full house.
Right.
We might have to. Well done, Mickey. I must say, absolutely well done. But we need to, I don't know. We might have to apply a handicap to Mickey at some point, like with golf, because he's just too darn good.
What am I doing?
Yes, I was thinking that as well, Karen. You guys were saying Claudia 3, but there seems to be they were saying Claudia 3. Claudia 3. It was like there was a V in there somewhere.
Oh, was
I
it?
don't
I
It was a bit. It's the way they were saying it was a bit strange, but
I didn't
yeah,
look it up.
Karen's saying it's Claudia 3.
Oh, it's Well, what's Claudia then? Is that 3?
Claudia 3 is the place where they brought her from.
No, I mean Claudia. Is that 3 in something?
Oh, I don't know,
3
actually.
and 4 4.
I don't know. That certainly didn't come up in Triv.
No.
But also I would have no idea how it was actually. I don't think it's a real word. I mean, you don't put V's and D's all that often. Oh no, It is a real word. It's Greek, but it's a Turkish village somewhere in Cyprus.
Right.
So there is a Klavdia word, but I don't think it was. That's with a K, by the way. Might be different with a C. Who knows?
I was just writing it Claudia, but never mind. This is one picture
Well,
I missed
I think
of the.
it was it was quite misty, so it was a lot cloudier.
This was the beautiful planet he took her to.
You're saying he took her to a rocky planet, but I don't think it's the planet that they're on. That
I
was the
think
reason
they're
why
on
I
a
took her there.
moon.
Yeah. I suppose it does have a nice view of up in the sky.
A ringed planet.
Yeah. So there you go. So what do we think then of this episode?
I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, it's like there were terrible, terrible monster costumes. Clearly, we've mentioned that a couple of times. Specifically, Rob Bowman and Maurice Hurley both took quite exception to the costumes and things. Rob Bowman took it as a personal mission to try and make sure that they had as little screen time as possible. And I think Maurice Hurley says something like, "Oh, once again, it's the monster show. We never do very well with those." But yeah, I mean, despite that, the special effects people did, obviously put in a lot of time and stuff. I mean, now with CGI, you can do anything, but back then they were still having to sort of build things from scratch, and there were quite a few different costumes and stuff, so it still cost them quite a bit, and they put in quite a bit of effort, but it just didn't pull off really.
Wow, the effort that Mickey went in is he just WhatsApped me his notes for tonight's episode.
Are they more detailed than yours?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why he's getting all the questions right, because he's taking lots and lots of notes.
I'm just seeing if I can get that to come up on my.
Well, the thing is, you leave a lot of gaps in your writing, Mickey, to be fair.
Yeah.
I use less pages, but it's a lot tighter. But it's still pretty impressive for somebody who's just spectating this show.
Here we go. I can put it up. Share. Be a bit small, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Wow.
12, and a bit.
It looks like you've destroyed your notebook as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't know what that is.
That's the other thing that Mickey sent on WhatsApp.
Wherever it is, it's funny.
I know. Well, they were talking earlier because Mickey was sending dab symbols. Karen was saying, "Oh, is that you Irish dancing, Mickey?" Which didn't know whether to mention or not. And then he sent these things of all these monkeys Irish dancing and a Yeti kind of strutting, and he just started sending all this stuff. So yeah. That's when I was distracted earlier and didn't hear Mark talking about Picard going into the sick bay.
I don't know if Stuplum's building up to a dad joke in chat. He said, "Did you know?" And then he's gone, "Clear skies tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish."
Right. What's that for?
Is there a solar eclipse or something? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll hopefully get the end of his monologue. Do you know, I thought it was an okay episode. I reasonably. Oh, I put my thing up there and I didn't mean to. How do I get rid of that?
What thing? What thing? Oh, your little chat thing.
Yeah. How do I get rid of it?
Oh, I don't know.
Do I go back to that? Oh, there we go. I did that earlier on when I put the emoji up, and I forgot to.
Yes, partial eclipse.
Oh, it's
apparently.
a partial eclipse tomorrow. Is it 10 o'clock?
I did see something on the news about an eclipse, so I thought maybe.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be looking out for that tomorrow morning. Yeah, I
I'll
thought.
be in a mess of meetings all day tomorrow. It's
Yes.
just my job's a bit like that at the moment.
Mm.
Never mind.
Yeah, so the episode.
Pretty good.
If anybody wants to start putting their scores in chat for this episode, please feel free to do so. I thought it was, apart from the costumes of the furry creatures, I thought it was a fairly decent episode. I thought it was quite a nice episode for Wesley to see him interacting with someone his age and that sort of thing, and him having a bit of like a teenage romance. That was quite nice. I thought it had a number of funny lines in it with Worf.
Yeah, I think for me the scripting sort of went really up and down. There was bits where, I mean, I was quite pleasantly surprised with that whole scene with Wolf, because I just never remembered it being so funny. And like somebody was saying earlier in chat, I love the face that he was pulling, like the way he was smiling from cheek to cheek as he's counting like what happens in when lady and male Klingons get intimate. But so there was some really nice surprises, but I do think a lot of the scripting was, I think the bit between Celia and Anya was quite wooden. Yeah.
And Mickey says that he enjoyed it. There were some funny bits, and he thought that the bits where Whoopi was in it was particularly good, which you echoed earlier, G-Star. You were like, well, that's what Whoopi brings to the party. She's just like great. She has that gravitas, that presence. And there's always, either something really poignant or something really funny about every scene she's in, which is just class.
Yeah. So the full dialogue. Where was it? Riker. Right. This is how you do it.
Oh no! I was about to say maybe I should do the other side, but no, I shouldn't.
You could do.
Maybe you should give Gary Whoopi's part.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Go on, but bring it up, Gary, and bring it up, Mark.
Where?
Monty Bam.
Hey.
Just bring up there. Like you can send him the link. We'll do the scores, and then you guys have to recite their witty repartee.
I'll bring it. Hang on a minute. I will share screen. Hang on. Here we go.
Oh my god, I can't read that from here.
No.
Right, I'll make it bigger. Can you read that now? So, Gary, you're the most beautiful woman in the galaxy.
You're actually going to say his name.
Where is it?
You have to say Guinan. Sounds simple enough.
Guinan.
No. Oh no.
Oh,
You are the most beautiful woman in the galaxy. Then Guinan.
who am I playing?
But that might not work, right? So.
I can't see that.
Right. So oh, I can't do it. It doesn't work on there. Hang on. You are the most beautiful woman in the galaxy.
Oh, there we go.
That might work.
Yes, it would.
You don't know how long I've longed to tell you that.
But you were afraid?
Yes.
Of me?
Of us. Of what we might become.
Commander?
That's.
Sorry, I'm being Wesley.
Yeah. Good, nice Wesley. That was, yes. Or that you might think that was a line.
Maybe I do think it's a line.
Then you think I'm not sincere.
I didn't say that. There's nothing wrong with a line. It's like a knock at the door.
Then you're inviting me in?
I'm not sending you away.
That's more than I expected.
Is it much as you hoped?
To hope is to recognize the possibility. I only had dreams.
But dreams can be dangerous.
Not these dreams. I dream of a galaxy where your eyes are the stars and the universe worships the night.
Careful. Put me on a pedestal so high, you may not be able to reach me.
Then I will learn to fly, and you are the heart of my day and the soul of my night.
Look, guys, I don't think this is my style.
Shut up, kid. Tell me more about my eyes.
There you go. Special
Oh, no.
bonus scene for you all. There you go.
Just
That's
tell Anna and Alex not to watch
500
this
TNG
episode.
points for both of us.
Yay, I won. There we go. Yeah, Karen, thank you for sending me. She sent me the script. So, yeah, that was thanks to Karen.
Excellent. Thanks, Karen.
Yes, really good. So, scores on the doors. What are we saying? Let's get my paddle out.
I got my paddle out. Stuplum's gone for an 8. I think Mickey's gone for an 8. 2 8s so far in chat.
3. Are we ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. 5, 6, 7, and 8s.
And a couple of 8s.
Yeah.
I mean, my issue, I mean, obviously the monsters, but, and Karen went for an 8 as well. The monsters, but also a Wes episode, some slightly cringy general Wesiness about it. But also, like, I just found elements of it a bit boring. It's like, I didn't want to say this earlier and, you know, I don't know, influence anybody else, but it just, yeah, I don't know. There's bits of it that just didn't
quite work.
gel for me, but...
Yeah.
I mean, as we were chatting about it just a minute ago and talking about, you know, some of the dialogue between like Guinan and, you know, some of the better dialogue in it, like bits with Worf, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm being a bit sort of tough with my score, but I have to be honest that if I was given the choice of watching, say, 20 episodes of TNG and taking them to a desert island with me, this is not one that I would choose, and it's because it bores me a little bit. So, and for whatever reason that is, you know, I have to be honest that I'll rate it at 5.
Yeah, I've always found it a bit of a boring episode, but for some reason, once again, watching it through, I was slightly
enjoyed
more
it a bit more.
entertained than normal.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, possibly.
Such a romantic.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
So we got 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8. It's like steps in a dance. I don't know if that's what Karen meant, but it's like,
or
you know,
a really terrible password.
1, 2, 3, 6,
so
7, 8.
Mickey won the thing this week. Who won it last week?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and you know I can't
We forgot
remember.
to check, but I'm pretty sure it was Mickey.
I think it was Mickey. I think Mickey got full house. With the last
and I think
question.
that's when we were saying we need to do something harder. You know, we can't victimize Mickey for being so good, but we got to give somebody else a chance.
I think from next week, I'm just dropping the multiple choice.
Not for everything.
No,
that wouldn't be fair on anyone.
No.
Nobody would stand a chance.
Okay. I'll have to think about something to make it a little bit more tricky then.
Do we think it was Mickey then?
Or I'll have to give each of them their own individual questions.
Well, I was going to say with it, you know, we could, like I say, we could apply a handicap of some kind. We could ask Mickey something which gives him like a reduction factor on his final score.
He just puts the work in. You can't blame Mickey.
Yeah, like I say, you can't. You know, you got to reward people for paying attention and being diligent.
Mickey, so I can give him a 5. There we go. Super Mick. There you go. And it puts this episode against
being our number 1 fan.
Yeah. It puts this episode squarely in the middle, level with Where Silence Has Lease, Unnatural Selection, and the Dauphin. So, I mean, that seems to be pretty much on the level of those episodes, really.
Yeah.
It's probably about right. Yeah. With our favourite 3 episodes so far being top, The Measure of a Man, second, Elementary, My Dear Data, and thirdly, A Matter of Honor. Which again, are 3 good episodes. So we seem to be getting it right. I like the way
it's like, it's making waves though, isn't it? It's like, you get to this point where it's like a season 2 enlightenment. Wow, they're actually getting their stuff together. And then it goes through this kind of trough of disillusionment in the first half of the second series. And now, like, you know, we're on the kind of upswing, I guess. But
well, I think I think that is the way season 2 is. It's got peaks and troughs. There are a few good episodes and some
Yes,
trophy
some might
episodes.
say it's got best of both worlds.
Oh no, that's season 3.
Uh,
It's like they're sort of competing a little bit in chat. You know, they're saying when they watched it or didn't watch it, how often they watched it, or whether or not they've done notes. I know, Stu Plum, you do notes as well as Mickey. To be fair, you're just as diligent on this show. In terms of this show, you're equal number one fans between the three of you. But Mickey does also diligently follow every other channel and thing that we do on the whole of YouTube. So collectively, I think he still gets badged as our number one fan.
Yeah. Just out of interest, can I get it smaller? There you go. That'll do. Because I've done it in Word this week. I did my notes in Word this week rather than writing them out, and actually that worked a lot better for me. I find I can type a lot quicker than I can write. So,
sorry, Smiler, you're also our number one fan.
But
in fact, you're probably above Mickey. To be fair,
that
you are the wrench.
That's my notes. It wasn't too bad for this episode. It wasn't as big as anywhere near as big as some of my notes get.
But how many pages would that be handwritten? I guess you don't have a point of reference.
Probably 10 or 12 on my little notepad. Yeah, probably a similar amount, I'd imagine, because it's quite standard what I do, really. So there you go. That is this episode. We'll be back next week. Does anybody know what the next week episode is? Just to remind people.
I don't know, but I could probably find out quite quickly.
While you're finding out, just to share with those that are interested, unfortunately, there won't be any Monty Zone this Friday. This would be the usual Friday for Monty Zone. It's going to be delayed a week, unfortunately, so we'll be back with you next Friday.
Contagion.
Oh, that's an all right episode, I believe.
Can't remember
something
what that one
about encountering a superior technology, their system malfunctions, and something about the Romulans. Ooh. Interesting.
Well, that's next week's episode. So if people want to catch up with that one before next Wednesday, then please feel free to go right ahead. That's Star Trek Season 2, Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, Contagion. It's cool. Episode 11. Stu Plum's already got it.
Yeah, what's the next episode? Episode 11.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stu Plum.
Yeah.
Classic.
So yes, no Monty Zone this week. We'll be delaying it a week to the week after. I think we know what we're doing it about. It's going to be a bit about sort of a bit more about UFOs and a bit about NASA photography on Mars and other NASA probes around the solar system and the information they brought back. That'll be next week on Friday, and join us for the first fortnight live stream tomorrow evening in season 7, as we continue to get our season 7 achievements. So yes, thank you for everyone for joining us. Thank you, Stu Plum and Mickey. Congratulations once again. And thank you, Smiler, my wrench. Congratulations again. And thank you, my friends, Maz and McBob and G-Star.
Pleasure, as always.
Pleasure as always. We'll see you same time next week.
Bye.
Cheers.